Faygoluvers.net with the one and only Lindy Gabriel of Gabriel and The Apocalypse from Minnesota. So let's start out with when fans come up to you and tell you that your music has saved their own very own lives. How do you respond to that?
I don't know. I'm just really taken back by it because I mean, I felt that with artists growing up, and I don't see myself on that same level. So when people say that to me, I'm just like, I mean, I'm grateful. I'm honored, to be able to give back and for people to relate.
Right.
And I think people just kind of grasp onto our realness and our rawness, and we're not afraid to be emotional, and we have a freedom to be ourselves. That kind of represents Gabriel and The Apocalypse. So no, I mean it means a lot.
Yeah, because I noticed comments on YouTube and people are like really caught on your guys' sound and latched on to it. So it's cool to see that.
Yeah, especially with the newest release, Behind the Sun. I mean, I was kind of scared to release that because I think that song is the most stripped down, emotional, raw song I've ever written and put out to the world, and it's really vulnerable. And I was really like, are people gonna like this? Is it too soft? Because we're usually crazy and in your face on level 10. But the feedback was just amazing, and I got so many messages from people telling me how they relate to that song. It made them cry. It's one of their favorites, and so then I knew that we made the right decision to release that, and we almost didn't. I kind of had to fight for that song. I had to fight for that song to be on the record and fight for us to do a video for it, and in the end, I'm really glad that we ended up releasing it because, yeah, people really relate to it.
Yeah, it's one of the questions I actually had in mind. How does it relate to the world today, and is there a hidden metaphor inside the video?
Yeah, I mean, that song, as I said, it's the most personal song I've ever written. And with the Ghost Parade, I mean, it's getting to the end of the album cycle, and I wanted to do a video that kind of represented basically moving on and a closing of a chapter, not only for the record, because we're writing a new record right now, but in a personal way. I guess what I was dealing with personally and emotionally, I've carried with me for a very long time, and I felt like it's time to let it go. It's time to move on. So it has a lot of the, hidden things with the record, with like the Ghost Parade balloons, the ring that is also on the back cover of the Ghost Parade. So a lot of it kind of ties into it. But yeah, that one isn't, about the world like I write about. It's just more personal, about my personal relationship, and, being with someone and that has a drug addiction, that you basically see them become a ghost before you, and you do everything to try to help this person, and you start becoming a ghost too, because you're putting so much time and energy into it, and nothing seems to work, and you realize that you can't really save anyone. I'm the type of person who's like, no, I can save this person, I can do it, and then I was falling apart and drowning during the process, and so it's me having to move on from the situation and say that I tried my best and it's out of my hands.
Yeah, it looks like you filmed the video in the heart of winter. It must have been pretty cold out on set.
We had to take so many breaks because I'm like, when I'm holding the letter in the video, I'm like, literally, like, my hands were numb. I'm like, I can't feel my hands. My feet were like, literally, you should see the pictures. Like, they look like they were about to like freeze right off. I had to, warm up, change my socks, change my shoes like so many times. But I mean, it was worth it in the end. But yeah, it was freezing, and it was 3 days solid shooting outside.
Oh, well, I know Minnesota gets pretty cold because it's like near
yeah, it was
about
pretty
12
crazy.
hours from Michigan and Montana. So yeah, you're right in the middle.
Yeah, it was crazy. All in the name of art, though,
Well,
you gotta suffer for art.
for being brave out in the cold for that long, because yeah, that would be pretty intense after a while.
Yeah.
Now, how has the recording process behind the music of Gabriel and the Apocalypse benefited you, via therapeutic reasons? How have you used it to, release stress?
Yeah, I just think, my personal experiences or just my views on the world are things that bother me, things that I want to point out to people and, make people, you know, think about things or pay attention to certain things that I feel like people are just so distracted with being on their phones all the time or Facebook and whatnot. And I guess issues of the world and society that really bother me, I try to put that in my art to kind of put a spotlight on it. And um, I don't know. I feel better doing that and trying to help the situation and trying to make things people aware of those situations. Um, but I don't know. It just helps for me to just get it off my chest and feel like I'm doing my part. Performing too is like therapy and releasing that aggression and pain. But yeah, it's definitely an outlet, and I don't know where I'd be without it.
Right, right. Music has a strong impact on, everybody worldwide, Even the government fears it. So.
Right, right.
And, you're like one of the leading edge female recording artists right now, So which other female recording artists would you like to do a track with? And what subject matter would you like the track to tackle?
Oh man, it's kind of funny because like some of my favorite female artists, people are kind of surprised. I guess like PJ Harvey is my ultimate favorite female singer-songwriter. Every one of her records is different, and I just like her way of writing, and she's really unique. One of my first female rockers that I was inspired by is Courtney Love. I love Courtney Love. I've heard she's a horrible person, which I was kind of bummed out myself when I know her.
Oh, yeah, that's like one of your idols when you actually find out that stuff stings a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, who knows? But I was pretty bummed out. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'd be best friends if we knew each other. But I did. I think Courtney is just. I just love her unapologetic attitude and in-your-face attitude, and I'm really into Fantagram recently. I just discovered them, and I love her voice and the kind of electro pop rock kind of feel. Trying to think here. I even think like Lizzie Hale would be kind of cool, just because it's so rock.
Yeah, and she's pretty aggressive. I think
she has a killer voice, Yeah, I know, just on top of my head, I guess. Those would be the ones.
Yeah, and then, what would you like the subject matter to focus on if you were to collaborate with either of those two?
God. I guess it would depend on which one it would be with, because they're all different artists.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm going to look into Fanagram because that sounds pretty cool. I don't know how so much music out there. I don't know how I skipped it.
Yeah, check them out. Their album I've really been listening to is called 3.
Okay.
It's their most recent. I'm actually listening to it right now. But no, it kind of inspired me. I'm actually taking that inspiration and a little bit into the new record because I'm just like, wow, this is really great. It's different. It's refreshing.
And which album would you recommend from them?
The album's called 3.
3? Okay, 3. Got you.
Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm always into discovering new music. Of course, everybody is,
Right.
So then, it's pretty badass that you're already going on tour with Mushroomhead. And how excited are you and the band as a whole to be going on tour with the legendary band like that? Because they've been around since the early 90s,
Right. No, it feels great. I've been on Rick from Mushroomhead for like many years now to get us to tour with them. We met Mushroomhead, I'm thinking about like 7 years ago, around there.
Yeah.
We played some shows with them, and I became friends with them. I somehow wandered on their bus, and they got me drunk, and we became friends after that. And so then Rick, when he was in town, again, after we became friends, I like kind of kidnapped him from the Mushroomhead show and put him in the studio, and that's when he tracked on our song Like God from our New World Disaster record. So that's Rick singing backup on Like God. And so we've always been friends. It's been cool to work with him, and I've always, talked to him about, like, dude, it'd be awesome if you could get Gata on a Mushroomhead tour. And he's like, when the time's right, it will. And last summer we played one show with Mushroomhead, and he hadn't seen us play for a while, and I think he's just been kind of watching us evolve and
grow as a band.
Right, yeah. And he's like, I think now the time is right. Like, let's do it. And he gave me a call and was like, we're doing a spring tour. Do you want to do it? I'm like, absolutely. So it's awesome to have someone, especially in the music business, to be a person of their word, because you do hear a lot, like people promise you, a lot of tours and shows.
You're like, what's up, man?
Yeah. So it's awesome that he came through and was like, okay, we're going to do it. And we're all about it. And we're super excited. We're hitting so many places, like a different state practically, like every night, we're going to cover a lot of ground, and there's going to be some crazy drives. But yeah, we're absolutely thrilled. I mean, it starts, next Friday. So
yeah, you're kicking off the tour in Flint, Michigan.
Right.
Which is actually my home city. I've had to relocate to Montana. But, yeah, I was wondering, being that the tour is kicking off in Flint, Michigan, what are your thoughts about the Flint water situation and them taking away the bottled water recently from the public?
This world is shit, it really is. I mean, I could go on for hours and hours, I can say some things that I know, like, certain people might get pissed off, but I don't know. I just think that to protect, water and our clean air is to protect the future of humanity. And I think in the end you can't eat money, and people need to, I think, stop and realize that. I mean, and stop and think about what is the right thing to do, really, so.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that people are still getting charged a water bill for polluted water.
Right.
It's just pretty crazy. Yeah, I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that, because, the tour kicks off in Flint. So, yeah, I mean, you guys will be at the Machine Shop, and I know Banana 101.5 is always repping the Machine Shop, so you'll definitely have a packed crowd that night.
I can't wait. We've been wanting to play the Machine Shop for a while now. We've never played there, so it's our first time. Machine Shop, it's our drummer's birthday that night, and so what a way to kick off the tour.
Yeah, for real. Down near the ghettos of Flint. Hell yeah.
Right.
And now, how influential is Mushroomhead within the sound of Gabriel and Apocalypse?
Within the sound, I guess, like the synth and the keys, I guess, would be like the similarities. I mean, obviously they're much heavier of a band, but then again, they do have a lot of melodic vocal melodies and such, and that's, I guess, what really turned me on to Mushroomhead. Is like, I love a metal band that has a person in the band that can sing, I love melody and movement. So I would say, like, vocal melodies and the keyboards and synth and just like the live show. I mean, they're a full energy crazy band, and we're a full energy in your face kind of band too. So I think that it's gonna work out really well. There's already people like talking that I've seen like online, places we've never played before, that like the fans are so excited to see us play, and so that pumps us up.
Oh yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fact it's just looks like a huge tour. I've been following Mushroomhead for a long time. They've been connected to the Juggalo and San Clemente scene for quite a while. So, and they're right next to Michigan. So, I mean, I've heard their music since at least 2000, 2001, around there.
Right.
So,
right.
Like 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, when can fans expect the follow-up to the Ghost Parade? Because I know it's already been 2 years about. And
It'll be 2 years in October. Yeah, it'll be 2 years in October. Yeah, we've tracked about 6 songs so far, and we have another like 4 or 5 that are like pre-production right now that we were about to track, but then we had this tour and we're prepping for the tour, so the record kind of has taken a back seat just while we're gonna be doing this tour. Mm-hmm. We've been tracking up until this point, but as soon as we get back from the tour, we're gonna finish it up, and we're thinking fall or early next year it'll be out.
Oh,
just
wow.
We don't.
That's soon.
Yeah, Yeah. So, I mean, I wanted to have it all tracked before tour, but it just didn't work. You know, and I don't want to rush it, and I want it to be perfect and the best it can possibly be. So we just wanted to take a step back, do this tour, and come back to it with fresh ears and hammer it out.
Yeah, can you shed a little bit of light? I know it's like way too soon,
Right.
but I'm wondering, like, production-wise, are you guys going to a more darker, heavier sound, or a lighter sound, or what direction are you going to?
So far, I feel like it's kind of, it's a little bit more electronic.
Oh wow, yeah, I love industrial, so that's a
Yeah, it's a little bit more like dancey, bouncy. You want to sing along to it, and you want to fuck to it and jump around to it, kind of vibe so far.
sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely different than I mean, our last couple records, and you know, I don't want to keep making the same records, so I'm really excited to just explore and have no boundaries and just see what this can become. But it's definitely way different than anything we've ever done.
Yeah, you got me pretty excited. Are you already got plans of working on another music video?
For the Behind the Sun, the last one we just released, that's the last one that will be for the Ghost Parade. But I already have ideas in my head for the new record, as far as concept, direction, art direction, theatrical, you know, direction, and music videos. And I've already talked to like our music video director about like these are kind of the ideas I'm thinking, even though it's like way, you know, kind of jumping the gun and it's like early, but I'm just so excited and with this clean slate and just new ideas that I have for it. And so yeah, it's so if we do, I mean, if the record's released in the fall, I mean, we'll probably have something late summer as far as a new music video. And if the record is released early next year, then a video will be released probably late fall. So probably around that time, you know, to advertise like the new record coming out and everything. But I mean, it is kind of early to say, but that's kind of what we're shooting for.
Oh yeah, the fans are definitely gonna be really excited because I know they've been craving some new. Going on social media and
Yeah.
message boards and stuff, they've been craving some new Gabriel and the Apocalypse. I mean, the Ghost Parade was a phenomenal record. I'm not just saying that. Like, you guys put a lot of heart and soul into that, and to hear that type of originality in this day and age is like really hard because there's so many bands out there that pollute the scene, you know. But
Right.
the fact is, you guys are original and rising up to the top, and it's good to see that. Especially a female fronted band. I like to see that. So.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You know, being that you're about to go on this tour, is there any advice you'd like to share for recording artists just starting out on their very first national tour?
You know, we just really started touring the last couple of years. I mean, we've done some like American Head Charge tours and stuff like that, but those were a lot shorter runs. I guess when we did our first like 6-week run, it was like, whoa, like we learned so much. I guess one thing is, you know, have baby wipes because you're not going to be able to shower that often.
Right, and your hands get all sweaty and dirty on stage.
Right. Oh man, and our AC like stopped working on the last run that we did last summer, and oh man, that was brutal, you know. But that's one thing. I don't know. It's just for me too. Like in the beginning, I would get like homesick. I'm such a homebody. I hate being away from my dogs, and you know.
Right.
The first couple tours we did in the past, you know, I would get just like so homesick, and I guess now it's just like I have to just have a different mindset for it, and you know, now it's like I'm turning into a road dog, which is weird. I never thought I would say that. Like members are like, "Wow, Lindy, like you got this. This is crazy," you know. So I just prepare myself and get in a different mindset for it, and the schedule gets kind of crazy. I mean, at this point we don't have a driver, so there's 4 of us, including myself, that we'll take turns driving. You know, you have like 10-hour drives, say, every night. You have to be at the venue, say, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you're there, you know, loading in, and then the show, and then tear down. I mean, it's like the hours are really crazy. So I mean, get sleep when you can, and take a shower when you can. Um, and it goes by so fast. You know, we look back at our other tours, it's like, wow, man, I can't believe we did that, and it's cool to look back. You know, we just released a tour video today from our Condolences Across America tour with Wednesday 13, and it's pretty cool to look back at that and then share that with everyone, because it, you know, it shows the good, the bad, the ugly, the chaos, you know.
Behind the scenes of what
Right.
you expect, you know, that people might look over like, oh, that's what goes on, you know.
Yeah.
Wow, Wednesday 13, yeah, good live performance, definitely. I love that dude. That dude's pretty cool.
Definitely.
And you know, your music could definitely fit in some like horror movie soundtracks or even science fiction. You know, Netflix has been a pioneer right now for releasing original content like Stranger Things and all that. You know, which current TV series would you like your music to be featured in, and why?
I guess the most current like series that I've really been into would be American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, you guys are definitely fitting that, even if you.
I think that would really fit. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be awesome. I'm really into that. I mean, other than that, the only series I've really been into, I guess, Lost. I really like Lost a lot, you know. But I don't think we would really fit with that. But yeah, American Horror Story, just because it's edgy, it's dirty, it's grimy, it's crazy, and it's like sexual, and it's like, I don't know, it has a nice vibe to
it. Yeah, what I like about the show is like it's the same actors but a different storyline every day.
Right. Yeah. No, I love it. It's really, they put a lot of art into it, you know, just a lot of creativity and just like costuming and concepts, and yeah.
And you know, why should underground music fans not miss Gabriel and the Apocalypse live, especially on this tour with Mushroomhead?
Right.
Don't be going to the bathroom. Like, be there.
Right. I don't know. I'm pretty confident, you know, in our abilities and our sound and our live show, that I feel like even if we're not someone's cup of tea, I think that you will enjoy the live show. You're not going to be bored. There's never a dull moment, and you definitely will be entertained.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then, you know, Insane Clown Posse likes to invite a lot of original bands to play The Gathering. If you guys were invited to play The Gathering of the Juggalos in Ohio this year, would you accept the invitation?
Yeah, I mean, I think we would, you know. I mean, I don't know if that crowd would like us or not, but I mean, I definitely would, you know, give it a shot.
Well, being that you're on tour with Mushroomhead, you might win over some of those fans. and One Eye Doll played The Gathering, and I believe in this moment. Okay. Yeah, In This Moment did too.
Oh, so, cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then maybe it would work then for sure. Hook it up for us.
Yeah, that would be pretty dope. I mean, I definitely, you know, submit some ideas towards them.
All right.
Let's see here. Now, being that, you know, you're about to wrap up promoting the Ghost Parade, I mean, it's been out for nearly 2 years. Any final thoughts on the album as a whole to reflect on?
I mean, I look back at that record, and it was a long process for that record, because we originally released an Everything Is Red EP, and I don't even know what that was, probably like, what, 3-4 years ago, I think. And, you know, we were about to break up soon after that, and then we got the record deal offer, and I was like, what should we do? Oh my God. And we decided let's give it a shot, and our label really liked the EP, and they said, you know, since you guys really didn't push that EP, we would like those songs on the new record. And those songs already had like the concept and everything, and so I had to basically put two different concepts together and have it make sense and be cohesive. So that was kind of challenging in the beginning, you know, and then trying to dig up those old feelings from that EP and blend it with the new stuff. But I don't know, I look back at that record and I listen to it, and I can still feel the emotional side to it. I can still put my place and relive those feelings that I felt. Like, so it's like, and every time I sing those songs, I feel like I'm reliving it and reliving it. And that's, I think, why it's been hard for me to kind of move on from that in a way. I'm just like reliving it every night, singing, because I feel everything I'm singing 100%, you know? So it kind of just takes me back to that place. But no, I think it's a great record, and I think with new music now, you don't really get and feel that emotional side, that realness, that rawness, that passion. There's a lot of music that's just like really cliche or really superficial, and I've always just like kind of stuck to our roots and like bands that I liked growing up that had that emotional side. You know, I love music like that, and so I'm really proud of that record.
Yeah, it's one of those records where you can listen to the whole thing. It's not one hit wonder, and that's one thing I really like about it. I know a lot of fans like that too, because it's a concept record, and you listen to it all the way through in one setting, like it's one big song, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah, hey, being honest, but yeah, and then you know, which 3 albums, you know, from any genre of music is most important to you, and why?
I would say, for one, Nirvana Nevermind, because that record and Nirvana was like one of the first rock bands that really moved me and put me on the path to, you know, start my own band. I started my first band when I was 11. You know, we were like Nirvana whole kind of rip off. I played bass, and it was like this grunge, you know, band. So that like just really inspired me and started it all for me. And then I would say like Hole, Live Through This. I remember my parents, it's funny because like I was such a grunge kid and Kurt Cobain like kid that I didn't want to wash my hair because Kurt Cobain didn't. I was probably like 11. And my parents were like, you need to wash your hair. And I was like, no, I'm not going to wash my hair. And they're like, we'll buy you a CD if you wash your hair. So I'm like crying, washing my hair. And so my first actual CD, not cassette, was Hole, Live Through This. And I remember getting that. I was so excited and listening to like Miss World and singing along to it. You know, mind you, I'm 11. It's like, kill me pills, you know. And my parents are just like, oh God, and we just bought her that record, you know. Like, so no, the record is so great. And then I would say, I don't know, 9 Inch Nails, Downward Spiral, or like Manson, Antichrist Superstar. That's kind of the records that took me into like a little bit darker, the darker artistic side, you know, when I was a kid. So those records are some of the records that just really moved me and are just like masterpieces, you know.
Yeah, phenomenal records, and Trent Reznor produced both of them, so it was kind of cool.
Right, yeah.
And trivia question, you know, which track vocally challenges the most live?
Let me think. I mean, sometimes like the Thrill to Kill chorus part, if I'm like running around a lot, because it's a little bit higher and I'm like repeating like thrill to kill, breath, you know, it's like I do it like what 4 times or something. So I think just gotta make sure I get my breaths right for that, you know.
Right.
Calm down for a second on headbanging, running around, just like breathe, you know. So that might be one of them.
I can see that too, especially with repeating a lot. Now, any final shots you'd like to do before ending this interview with Faygoluvers?
Man, I just wanted to say thank you for doing the interview and being so supportive. And I want to, say thank you to all of our fans, and their support has just really kept this machine in the circus moving along. And we hope to see everyone on the up-and-coming Mushroomhead tour that starts next week.
Yeah, so if you're in the Flint and Detroit area, in the Michigan, it kicks off right in Michigan and goes Flint, then straight to Detroit. So definitely catch that tour, and don't be going to the bathroom or wherever you're at. Make sure you're there in front of the stage watching Gabriel and The Apocalypse live.